So the first type of passing chord I believe no beginner should skip is the chromatic passing chord. Okay, so let me first show you what this chromatic passing chord sounds like in some few songs, and then I'm going to break down the concept behind the chromatic passing chord. Okay, so let's see how the chromatic passing chord sounds in the songs. So I'm going to use this song example, that's your Alpha and Omega, and go something like this in the key of C sharp. You are worthy to be praised. Now watch this. We give you all the glory. We worship you, oh God. You are worthy to be praised. Now take a look at this song, Lord I Offer by Don Mon. There's a particular part in the song they also use chromatic passing chord. So take a look at this.
And Lord, I offer my days to you, lifting my praise to you as a pleasing sacrifice.
Okay, you heard that part. Is in the key of F. So as a living sacrifice. You heard the part very well, so you can listen to it again.
As a pleasing sacrifice.
You heard that? As a living they did something like this. Sacrifice. So before they go to the sixth chord, they played a chromatic passing chord. Okay? But actually, the chord quality of this chromatic passing chord is actually a diminished chord. Okay, so let me now break down into detail what this chromatic passing chord is all about, so that you can get the concept better. So for you to understand the concept behind this chromatic passing chord, I'm gonna do the breakdown in the key of C. Okay, so when we say chromatic passing chords are just simply chords built on accidental notes, okay, or you can say non-diatonic notes in a certain key. So when we build a chord on any of these accidental notes, that chord we are building on the accidental notes, we are going to use that chord as a passing chord to get to our destination chord, which in most cases will be a diatonic chord. Okay, so this is what I actually mean. It's not complicated. So for example, in the key of C, you can see all these white notes. They represent diatonic. So when you say diatonic, we mean with respect to a particular key. So these are the diatonic notes in the key of C. And if you look closely, you're going to see the black notes, which are these, are the non-diatonic notes because they are outside the key. Okay, so when we build a chord on this or any of these diatonic notes, and we're going to use that chord as a passing chord to get to any of the diatonic chords in the key, it becomes a chromatic passing chord, okay, of the chromatic scale. So let's say maybe we're on 1 and want to go to the chord 2, and we play this chord in between our 1 and our 2. This chord becomes a chromatic passing chord. Though the chord quality of this chord is a diminished 7, that's a full diminished 7, okay, to get to the chord 2. Another example, let's say we are on the 4 and want to go to the 5, and we play this chord in between, that is F sharp chromatic passing chord to get to the 5. This chord becomes a chromatic passing chord, okay, because we are building it on the accidental note F sharp, which is outside the key of C. We're building this and we're playing this chord to get to the 5. So that's just basically what chromatic chords are, and knowing when to use this chord could just make you sound much more advanced. Now it's important to note that most often the chord quality we are building on these accidental notes or non-diatonic notes most of the time used to be a diminished chord, okay, or a full diminished chord, whichever way you want to call it. I'm assuming you know how to build your diminished chords. just simply, maybe you want to build the diminished chord of a key, let's say of F. You're going to hold F, then you just count 1, 2, 3, and 3 again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is your diminished chord, just roots plus 3 plus 3 of any key signature. So it's also important to note that it's not a must, it must actually be a diminished chord quality. You could also use major, you could use minor, you just need to be creative. So a very popular example of worship song that also use this chromatic passing chord, but in this case, a major chord was used as the chord quality of this chromatic passing chord. So another example is in the song There Is None Like You by Lenny LeBlanc. So let me show you the exact points I use the chromatic passing chord, and then I explain. So in the key of C, now watch this. You see that? That's a chromatic chord. Okay, what we're playing is basically a chromatic passing chord, but this time around we are using a major chord as the quality, which is this, to get to our fourth chord. So okay, so they're on the 7, and before going to the 4, they played this chromatic passing chord. Okay, that is the flat 7. So they played it in a major form, and they go back to the key. That is the fourth chord. So it was used as a passing chord to get to the fourth chord. So the next passing chord I believe no beginner should skip are called secondary dominant passing chord. Okay, so the idea behind this passing chord is just simply playing the 5 chord in the key of your target chord. Okay, so let's say our target chord is F sharp major chord. Let's say we want to land on F sharp major chord. We're going to ask ourselves, what is the 5th chord in F sharp? So the 5th chord in F sharp is what? So this is the F sharp major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 5th chord is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is C sharp major chord. So in this context, when we are approaching our F sharp major chord, we're going to play the 5th chord in the key of F sharp, which is C sharp, to get to F sharp. Okay, so also, for example, let's say our target chord is A. So we're going to ask ourselves, what is the 5th chord in the key of A? The 5th chord in the key of A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is this, that is E major chord. So whenever we want to strike our A in that particular song, we're going to play E major chord to get to the A. Okay, and most times the quality of the chord is usually played in a dominant 7 form. So this is what I mean. So when, let's say, we're going to land on F sharp, which is our target chord, most often the way we're going to play this secondary dominant passing chord, which is C sharp, is going to be in a dominant 7 form. So instead of just playing C sharp major to get to F sharp major, we're going to play C sharp dominant 7 chord, which is this or this, anyhow, to get to F sharp. Okay, so instead of just C, which is the basic major chord, to F sharp, most times it's played like this. Okay, so let's see how this actually works in a song. So for example, let's pick a song. Let's say Oh Be Lifted. Oh be lifted above all other God. Okay, you see what we did? Again, above all other God. Okay, so we use this, which is G sharp dominant 7, to get to the 5th chord in F sharp, which is C sharp major chord. So instead of just playing the basic above all other God, that is 4 to 5. What we did, we played 4 above, then before landing on 5, we played this, 4 to 5. Okay, so let's see how this actually works in a song. So for example, let's pick a song. Let's say Oh Be Lifted. Oh be lifted above all other God. Okay, you see what we did? Again, above all other God. Okay, so we use this, which is G sharp dominant 7, to get to the 5th chord in F sharp, which is C sharp major chord. So instead of just playing the basic above all other God, that is 4 to 5. What we did, we played 4 above, then before landing on 5, we played this, which is a secondary dominant passing chord, to get to the fifth chord, which is this. So instead of just 4 to 5, we did 4 and we play secondary dominant chord, which is G sharp dominant 7. Oh, the God. Okay, before we get to the 5, and you see it just gives it that pull, natural pull. Okay, then we can continue. We lay a crown and worship you. Another famous example of a song that uses this is Amazing Grace. So let me demonstrate how the secondary dominant chord is used in the song Amazing Grace. So we're in the key of G sharp, or A flat rather. So we are going to the 4. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Okay. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Okay. So I started from 1 and I go to 4. How about adding secondary dominant before getting to the 4? Okay. So the 4 in this case is C sharp major chord. So we're going to ask ourselves, what is the fifth chord of C sharp major chord, which is the fourth chord in the key of G sharp. So this is G sharp. So the fourth chord in G sharp is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this. So we're going to ask ourselves, what is the fifth chord in the key of our target chord? Remember, we're in the key of G sharp, but our target chord is this chord, the fourth chord in G sharp, which is C sharp major chord. So we're going to ask ourselves, what is the fifth chord in our target chord, which is C sharp major chord? So the fifth chord in our target chord, which is C sharp, is, we all know in the key of C sharp, the fifth chord is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is G sharp. So we're going to play G sharp dominant 7 to get to our fourth chord. So back to the key of G sharp. I just hope you are following. I hope you are not confused. Back to the key of G sharp. We are going to our fourth chord, which is C sharp. We're going to play this to get to this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Okay. All right. The last type of passing chord that I believe every beginner should know for this video is going to be walk ups and walk down. Okay, so walk up in simple terms is just playing series of chords in an ascending manner. Okay, so this time around we are playing multiple chords in an ascending manner to approach our target chord. While walk down is just the opposite, direct opposite, playing multiple chords in a descending manner, that is from right to the left, whenever we are approaching our target chord. Okay, remember, when I say walk down, it could be chromatically, it could be diatonically. When I mean chromatically, it could be outside the key, that is playing non-diatonic chords, and if it's diatonically, it could be within a key, playing the diatonic chords. So let me show you what I mean by walk up and walk down, and then we just I'll just kind of show you the little things you need to know about it, and you are good to go. So back to the key of C sharp. A very good example of walk up is in the song Jehovah Is Your Name, for example. On the 1, and we're going to the 4. Instead of just going from 1 to 4, we did something like this. Jehovah is your name. You see, from 1 we played Jehovah is your name. Okay, so it's basically we're playing the 2. So this is actually an example of a diatonic walk up. So we are walking up, that is from the left to the right, and we are using diatonic chords to bridge the 2 chords. So we're starting from 1 and we play 1, 2, 3 to get to 4, our 4th chord. Okay, so it's just basically a passing chord. Another very popular song that use this or can use this is the song Because Live. So because I know you're my future, my life is just a living just because you live. You see, walking up. So this is actually diatonic, okay? That is using chords in the key. So what about chromatic walk up? Chromatic walk up will be something like this. What I did at the earlier part of the video, something like this. We give you all, okay? Or maybe something like this. Great is thy mercy towards me, okay? So what about walk down, okay? So walk down was just is just basically the direct opposite of walk up. So a very good example of a song that use walk down is the song God is Able by Dietrich Aiden. Okay, so God is able to do just what it says he will do. You see that? I'm on my 4 and I'm going to my 1, so I just did like a walk down. Okay, instead of just the 1, I started from 4. See that?